a 5-step plan to build an emergency fund on minimum wage. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are living paycheck to paycheck right now, I need you to hear this. You are not broke because you're bad with money. You are broke because nobody ever showed you the actual system. And I mean that. Not a hack, not a trick, a system. Here's a number that should scare you a little. According to multiple surveys over the last few years, somewhere around 56 to 60% of Americans could not cover a $1,000 emergency without going into debt or borrowing from someone. Let that sink in. More than half the country is one flat tire, one ER visit, one broken laptop away from a financial spiral. And if you're on minimum wage or close to it, that number probably doesn't surprise you at all. It probably feels like your entire life. I mean, I get it. When you're making $12, $15 an hour, the idea of just save 3 to 6 months of expenses sounds like a joke someone tells you from a Wall Street office. It's advice built for people who already have breathing room. You don't have breathing room. You have rent, groceries, gas, and maybe $50 left over if you're lucky. And that $50 usually gets eaten by something you didn't plan for. So today, I'm not going to give you generic advice. I'm going to give you a 5-step plan built specifically for low income that will get you a real emergency fund. Not someday, not eventually, but starting this month. 5 steps. Let's go.
The myth we need to kill first. Before we get into the steps, we need to reframe something. Most people think an emergency fund is about having a lot of money saved. That's wrong. An emergency fund is about having enough money saved to survive the specific emergencies that are statistically likely to hit you. That's it. It's not a fortune, it's a shield. The reality is, personal finance influencers love to throw around 6 months of expenses like it's a universal law. But the truth is, if you're making minimum wage, chasing 6 months of expenses before you even have $500 saved is setting yourself up to fail before you start. You'll get discouraged in month 2 and quit. I've seen it happen to people I know personally. So here's the reframe. We're not building a fortress on day 1. We're building a small, ugly, unglamorous buffer first. Then we grow it, step by step. That's the whole philosophy behind this plan.
Step 1. The $500 Starter Fund. Your first goal, and I mean your only goal for the next few weeks, is $500. Not $1,000, not as much as possible. $500. Why $500? Because data from multiple financial studies shows that the majority of financial emergencies people actually face, a car repair, a medical copay, a broken phone you need for work, a plumbing issue, tend to fall somewhere between $300 and $600. $500 covers most of that. Here's a personal example. Back when I was working a job that paid me barely above minimum wage, my car's alternator died. Repair cost was $480. I didn't have it. I put it on a credit card at 24% interest, and it took me almost 8 months to pay off, meaning that $480 repair actually cost me closer to $560 by the time interest was done eating at me. That is the exact scenario a $500 starter fund exists to prevent. So step 1, open a separate savings account. Separate is key, we'll get to why. And get $500 into it as fast as humanly possible, even if that means selling something you don't need this week.
Step 2. Automate before you feel it. Here's where most advice fails people. Everybody says just save more, as if willpower is a reliable financial strategy. It's not. Willpower runs out. Systems don't. The moment your paycheck hits your account, before you see the number and start mentally spending it, you need an automatic transfer, moving even $10, $15, $20 straight into that separate emergency account. Pay yourself first, not last, first. I know $15 sounds like nothing, but $15 a week is $780 a year, done automatically, without you having to think about it once. And because it happens before you see the money, you never actually miss it,
the way you would if you tried to manually transfer money at the end of the month, after temptation has already had its way with your bank account.
Step 3. Attack the big three first. Now, here's something almost nobody talks about. Before you obsess over cutting your daily coffee or canceling one streaming service, you need to look at what I call the big three: housing, transportation, and food. These three categories eat up 60 to 70% of most people's income. That's where the real money is. Can you get a roommate? Can you negotiate rent? Is there a cheaper, reliable used car option instead of a $400 a month payment? Are you meal prepping instead of doing $12 lunches 5 days a week? I'm not saying make yourself miserable. I'm saying the big three matter 10 times more than the small stuff influencers love to shame you about. The truth is, cutting a $5 coffee won't save your financial life. Renegotiating a $200 phone bill down to $60 by switching carriers might genuinely change your month.
Step 4. Stack small income before big sacrifice. Once your basics are as lean as they reasonably can be, the next lever isn't more sacrifice, it's more income, even in small doses. This doesn't mean quitting your job for some entrepreneur fantasy. It means one extra weekend shift, selling things you don't use, a few hours of delivery driving, tutoring, whatever fits your actual life. Here's the thing. This extra income doesn't go toward bills. It goes straight into the emergency fund. That's the rule. If you let extra income blend into your regular spending, it disappears. If you ring-fence it specifically for the fund, it becomes fuel that speeds up everything else in this plan.
Step 5. Grow it to 1 month, then keep climbing. Once you've hit that first $500 and it's sitting there, untouched, proven to have survived at least one small emergency without you panicking, now and only now do we raise the target. The next milestone is 1 full month of essential expenses. Not luxuries, essentials. Rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, minimum debt payments. From there, you keep climbing toward 3 months, and eventually the textbook 6 months. But by then, it won't feel impossible, because you'll have already proven to yourself, with real evidence, that the system works. That's the psychological trick nobody tells you. The first $500 isn't really about the money. It's about proving to yourself you're capable of this. I want to be honest with you. Making this video challenged my own assumptions a bit. I used to believe the 6 months of expenses rule applied to everybody equally. It doesn't. Advice that ignores income level isn't advice. It's noise. The real skill isn't discipline in the abstract. It's building a system so automatic that discipline barely matters. So here's what I want you to walk away with. 2 things. 1, money equals options, and an emergency fund is the cheapest option you will ever buy for yourself. 2, you don't need to be rich to start. You need a system, a small first target, and the patience to let it compound. If you're living paycheck to paycheck right now, I'm not going to pretend this fixes everything overnight, but $500 saved on purpose automatically is not nothing. It's the first brick in a wall between you and chaos. Thank you so much for watching. If this helped you, you know what to do. Give the next video a watch, where I break down exactly how to pick your first index fund once your emergency fund is done. And with that, muchas gracias, video número 5.